Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to BWTM Sports. I have with me world-class trainer, Peter Fury. Peter, how you doing?
Yeah, you okay?
I'm great. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm good.
Congratulations for Saturday night.
Yeah, thank you.
Your thoughts on how the fight went?
It went well. I thought Sam Sexton, I definitely think that was the best Sam Sexton we've seen. The condition he came in, training camp he had, his strategy. I was watching him in the early rounds as well. He was very, very difficult to hit clean, which we knew that would be the case by looking at him. So, you know, I think on the night he'd give a lot of heavyweights problems, Sam Sexton.
Okay.
It's just that we could foresee all of this, and this is why Hughie was touching him up with a jab, you know, just giving him a little bit of space, you know, tapping him with a jab to find a solid jab. So, you know, any single jabs that would be thrown at Sexton would be missing, and he'd be countering over the top of it. So all these things was looked at, and Hughie perfected everything he was told. He digested it, and he boxed to orders, and he did a fantastic job.
I was telling viewers or listeners that were listening to the fight live as commentating, I said there are certain things that Peter Fury would expect of Hughie, and there's no way he would expect Hughie to be going 12 rounds or carrying Sam Sexton, and at any time there was an opportunity, you would have looked to stop Sam Sexton. Your thoughts?
Obviously in this fight we was looking to make statements with Hughie anyway. You know, this was a good domestic fight on British level, and you can't say you're going to stop anyone. But what we can say is that was the strategy going into that fight, was to try and up the pressure and try and get rid of Sam in the second half of the fight. But he came a bit early, so it came while he was coming into Hughie, and Hughie never really had to go on the front foot. So that was it was all a bonus. But like I said, what people need to understand is, you know, no disrespect to Sexton, but Hughie is hitting tremendously hard with the right hand. He's got a thunderous punch. He always has that, but he's never used it. But now he is using it. You can see the damage he can do, and you know, he is a phenomenal puncher actually. It's probably with a bit of age, a bit of experience, everything entwined. You know, we're looking at a very young heavyweight. So, you know, he's finally turned the corner and putting power behind his shot.
We were fortunate to have Chris Mason on our show last night, and Chris Mason, he made a point to say that Hughie looks like a real heavyweight now. Big, he looked strong, physically strong now, as opposed to he looked weaker before. He looked physically very strong now. Your thoughts on that?
Well, he is. He's getting stronger all the time. You know, his body fat's coming down. You know, look, he's 16 stone 8 pound after nearly a 3-month training camp. He eats all the correct foods. He doesn't eat a lot of calories now. He's really trimming up. So obviously it's come on him in muscle, hasn't it? So before he used to have to try and make weight. He used to eat a lot, but now he doesn't. Now he's got to eat less to lose weight. So his body's in the right place, and he's physically maturing all the time. You know, don't forget, like I've always said, heavyweights don't start coming into maturity from between 26, 28.
Yep.
You know, don't forget, we're not talking about a guy that's 6 feet 1 here. We're talking about a guy who's 6'6" in the air. So it takes a lot more time to mature. So his strength is not even nowhere near. He's not nowhere near his maximum anyway. You know, he's still got 3, 4, 5 years ahead. He's 3 to 5 years ahead of his time.
Absolutely, absolutely. You pick up the British title. Now you're going to say, well, thank you for the British title. Is that now vacate and move on?
It just depends what fights we're only going to vacate it if we can get the right fights. So,
okay.
But if we can't get the right fights, then we'll have a look to see who can basically tread water and just get a decent fight while we're waiting for a good fight. So we might defend it, but if we get the right type of fight, we might just we'll vacate it. See what's available.
Does somebody like Tony Bellew fit into Hughie Fury's plans?
Listen, Tony Bellew would love to fit into our plans, but it says Tony Bellew wants a part of Hughie, so, you know, we'd be very interested in it. And that's not singling out Tony Bellew. We like him and all that, but Hughie will fight any of the top heavyweights. Any of the ones that high up, you know, he'll fight them. But I wouldn't call out Tony Bellew because Tony Bellew's made it clear he's only interested in fights where he can make a serious lot of money, and he wants mega fights. So on that scale, he's probably not interested in Hughie, as he said. But you know, if he did want the fight with Hughie, it's available.
How do you turn now Hughie Fury into for once a word, a ticket seller, somebody that's going to bring something to the table apart from fists and a good fighter? What do you do now, Peter, to take him to that next level? Does it mean you have to reduce the money you ask for to fight a big name? Or what happens? How do you go about that now?
Well, the answer to your question is I don't think you've seen Hennessy Sports press release just now, have you?
No, I haven't. So that's even better still.
Okay, well, he got overall 2.9 million viewers.
Fantastic. That's good. That's very good.
The overall viewing figures for Channel 5 and Spike TV, and you know, we had a good crowd of people there yesterday. So the tickets went the other day. Sorry, so the tickets are going very well. So Hughie's popularity he's a nice young man. He loves his sport, and you know, and he's doing big things. He's on the climb back to a world title, and he's up to taking anybody up there that's going to progress him. We're interested in it.
Well, that's fantastic news in terms of 2.9 million. You can't argue with that, and you know, being on terrestrial television helps. So then let me rephrase the question now, knowing that information. Then is the TV now a better lure for Hughie Fury in terms of getting the bigger names and the fights that you're looking for? You mentioned Povetkin, Ortiz, Pulev and Shah. They're 4 fighters there you mentioned. And potentially Tony Bellew on national television. Do you think those guys would bite at something like that?
I've no idea, you know. We can mention fighters' names all we like. You know, getting them over the line is another matter, but we're up for it. I don't say anything. I will never say anything unless I'm serious about anything. So we're up for all good fights.
Okay.
You know, so any top fight we can get, we'll take it.
Okay. So when do you think we'll see Hughie out again?
Well, we're just looking at now tying up dates, and we're just working on things at the moment. But I'm hoping we can get on the end of July. That's what we're looking for, anyway.
That'd be good. Are you aware of who the number 1 heavyweight is in Britain to challenge for the title? Should that be the case?
Sorry, Ingram, say that again.
Are you aware of? Do you know who the number 1 contender would be for the British title at the moment? Because I haven't looked at the rankings.
No idea.
Okay, fair enough. The potential of you going for the European Championship next?
Everything's a possibility, you know. I'm waiting for my team to get back to me. Once I've had discussions with them, and we'll just look for making any fight we can get. We'll have to have a look and see what's available. You know, for all I know, we could have had phone calls from any of these names saying they'll take the fight. I don't know, so we'll have to see what's available. But somehow, I don't think so. Okay,
fair enough. Let's talk a little bit about Peter McDonough. That left quite a bitter taste in many people's mouths after the result. What were your thoughts, your initial reactions after seeing Peter get the result that he did?
Yeah, it was a very harsh result. But then again, the referees probably only looked at the last few rounds. You know, so I had Peter. He clearly outboxed him in the first 5 rounds. And then he took it to him from the 5th round onwards. He let the other guy back in the fight by standing toe to toe and slugging it out. But I had Peter. I only gave the guy 3-4 rounds max anyway. So I had Peter a clear winner of it because I didn't see him as any danger whatsoever of losing it. So it's just one of them. It's just one of them decisions again. Not a lot we can do about it.
Why do you think that decision went the way that it did? I mean, he looked a clear winner to us. To everybody sitting at home, it looked like he'd won the fight. I mean, we was just stunned hearing the decision. And the other thing is, how do you pick a fighter up after that decision? They've spent so much time in camp, and then to go out there and then get a decision like that, that's hard for the sport.
Peter McDonough knows what he did. He knows what he did wrong. He didn't box to orders in the corner. selling him to boxes some of the rounds, and he just went out there and had a slugfest. He knows what he did wrong, Peter. Look, if you don't need a trainer, then you don't need any advice at all, and that doesn't work, does it?
No.
So we can see, Peter McDonough, I think he wanted to please the crowd. He wears his heart on his sleeve. He's a fighting man, and he just wants to have a hard fight. Well, sometimes that doesn't work and can cost you a decision. And I will say that because the first 5 or 6 rounds, I can't remember exactly when he was boxing him, it was a shutout. He won him clearly. But then Peter got involved for the second half, and probably the referee thought to himself, well, hang on a minute. Yeah, he took the first 5, but I'll give this guy the other 5. So that's why he got it a draw. So, I don't read any more into it than that, because the referee, you soon forget what's happened in the first half, and you're looking more at the second half. So his memory's there, and he's looking at it, and he's weighed it up as quick as he can and reached that decision. So, but that, he shouldn't have even went there, because Peter McDonough was fighting a guy who's had 8 fights. He's vastly more experienced. He just didn't use his boxing brain. He decided, for some unknown reason, to have a tear-up, not just for 1 or 2 rounds, but for the rest of the 5 rounds.
Do you think
obviously, it didn't work.
Do you think it was because of the crowd and the certain fans that were there, and it was a well-profile fight on television, that possibly Peter was trying to impress the fans and impress the crowd because they were paying public there?
Yeah, I've just said that,
Yeah.
Peter likes to put on a good fight. He's a warrior of a man. He's a proud man as well. But look, sometimes, boxing is a clever sport. You've got to have the headpiece for it, and you've got to box to orders. If you don't box to orders, things can go wrong. But let me say this. I still had Peter a clear winner. Me
too. And many did as well. Let's talk about Savannah Marshall. Great win for her. Put the combination together nicely. Good stoppage. Looked very loose. Had very much, very Fury-like in the way she was very loose. Upper body movement, using the jab, flicking the jab out from the waist. So talk to us about Savannah Marshall.
Yeah, she had a fantastic performance. The first round, she was just shook off a little bit of nerves. She was a little bit apprehensive. Not apprehensive about worried about anything, but she was like leaning over her shots a little bit. She was like, leaning in with the shots. And after the first round, I just gave her the instructions to relax and enjoy it in there, and just use the feints more. And don't try and rush your work. Just take your time and find the range properly. And I said to her, I said, you'll find the range with your feet. I said, just keep flicking out the jab nice and relaxed. I said, and it'll all come off. And she boxed perfectly in the second round. She closed the distance. She kept on top. And it was just a matter of time, really, before she started landing the power shots. But I can tell you now, Savannah is a big hitter. And that girl, she done pretty well, actually. She clearly had enough. It was correct to stop it.
So, like Hughie, will we see Savannah and Peter out in July at the same time as well?
Yeah, absolutely. We're a team. We're a strong team, and all of my fighters, they all fight together. So, they're all in the same training camp. So they'll fight the same. Peter, Savannah, and Hughie will all box together on the same night.
Fantastic, that's great news. I want to hear some views on some other things from you, Peter. Chris Eubank Jr. potentially replacing George Groves in the World Boxing Super Series final. What are your thoughts about that?
I think Chris Eubank Jr. and Callum Smith will be a very good fight. It will be explosive as well. But again, if Eubank's not learned anything from the Groves fight, he'll get outboxed again. So, it's still a very good fight. I wouldn't be disappointed just because Groves can't make it. Eubank is still a good fighter. It's going to be exciting. So it's a good fight to watch. So I can't give you a prediction. It just depends. If we got the same old Eubank, it'll be a clear win for Callum Smith.
Do you think he'll do a better job than Billy Joe Saunders and George Groves?
It's just hard to say. It just depends how much he's took on board and learned from a young Eubank. So we could see a different fighter in Eubank's coming out. And if that's the case, then anything's possible, because Eubank is talented. He's on a world level himself. So it just depends what he's going to do. But as of yet, it's the same Eubank we're all used to seeing. When you stand off him and box him, he looks like he's lost in there.
Okay. Badu Jack, Adonis Stevenson.
that's going to be a good fight. Adonis Stevenson's got sheer power in his hands, and Badu Jack has really impressed me the last time I saw him. It's hard to pick a winner.
Okay. And Selby versus Warrington.
I just think Selby's just that little bit more polished. I think he's... but let's see. Warrington's come on a hell of a lot. But I'd have to favour Selby in it. And to be fair, I'd have to slightly favour Adonis Stevenson as well in that other fight. So I could be very wrong.
Ooh, okay. Okay. Close. Okay, Peter, I know you're very busy, so we're going to leave you to get on. Is there anything you'd like to say before we finish?
Yeah, very grateful for the support, and I hope everybody enjoys the fight as much as we have. And it's been very good. There's been some good boxing fights on, and we're going to see some more. So boxing's on the rise, and I think we are seeing now some very good fights.
Peter Fury, as always, thank you so much for talking to BWTM Sports.
Thank you, Ingram. Cheers.
Take care, Peter. Goodbye.